Hey, how's everybody doing today? It is Blue Shadow here with the part two of the Drifter Guide. I'm going to be going into more of the intermediate things that you want to be paying attention to as you are leveling up your Drifter gameplay. So I'm going to start the video off with doing some refreshers, and all of this is going to be me commentating over my gameplay against other top players in the community. So you can actually see me do things live in game versus me messing up in the first video where I was missing basic things. So with all that being said, this is gonna segue into the review of what I did in the first video. So let's get into it. Oh yeah, and always, uh, follow me on Twitch. Yeah, follow me on Twitch so you can, chat with me live and watch me make some clips live and chat with me live. Yeah, do that. So for this first part, I just want to review how important it is to get your wave dashing as crispy as possible so you can land clean back airs even if you take a trade right there. It's way more worth it to get the kill at 74% with rage versus missing an opportunity to solidify a kill. So definitely be willing to wave dash off platform and throw off that back air. So the next part is going to be reviewing how important it is to land dash attacks and get your spacing down as good as possible. You see a little bit in the clip that I used lasers to try to set up my dash attack, and that's going to be really important to remember the tip of the dash attack so you can maximize getting as much knockback on your opponent as possible. For this part, I just wanted to retouch on how you can recover safely and just being aware of where you are on stage. I noticed that the carpet is coming out to help me, so I use that to up B because I'm already out of meter. So there's no point in not using any meter to try to recover to a better position because I'm pretty confident that my opponent is not going to punish me going up to the carpet. It's not the safest option, but just the awareness of the stage and how the stage works with you is very important to maximizing your kit. So for this next part that I'm going to touch on is going to be something that I want to segue into the intermediate part versus the beginner part and the first part of the video. So I know I emphasize using up tilt a ton in the first video, which I still want you to do, but you can use F tilt as an alternative, and I'm going to show you an example of that. There are certain times at low percent or mid percent where up tilt is way more valuable just to get them at a certain angle to land a fair cleanly or land an up tilt cleanly depending on your movement situation. Or if you're fast enough, you can do it's not a real RAR, but a quick back air if you can manage to turn around quickly enough. I'm not sure if we actually have drawing in this game, but somebody in the comments can, confirm or deny that. I like to think I get them off, but it's not as clean as Melee or Project M, so that could be incorrect. Just Smash in general compared to Brawlout, I don't think we have the clean mechanics to do that. So here you'll see that I get my opponent around 50%, and after I get knocked down and tech, I hit them with two forward tilts that send in two completely different directions, and I'm able to jump up a react and hit a forward air that launches them out and puts me in an edge guarding position. So it's really important to follow up and track where your opponent is going as you are throwing out these F tilts instead of up tilts. Alright, for this next part, I'm going to be touching on using a forward smash as a combo starter or extender. Here, I'm able to catch a field recovery on stage and use forward smash to get an F tilt and put them in a bad spot to be edge guarded. In the second example, I get a bit greedy and try to use forward smash to set up for an up tilt, which isn't the right option at that percentage, and I end up getting punished very, very hard for it. So try to be creative and utilize the forward smash as much as possible because it's a very good tool without being charged and when charged. It is very good on both ends. You just have to find that spacing and the timing for it. For my people that actually catch me on stream and have watched me in tournament, notice that I charge F Smash a lot center stage, and that is because it is very good fully charged to kill opponents that aren't expecting it or don't have burst. And because it's a multi-hit, if they get tapped by one of the many hits that it has, they will most likely get hit into that final hit and confirm the kill. So doing it in between combos just shows your opponent that, hey, I'm willing to throw this forward smash out, and I'm willing to throw it out later as well. So it's also going to play mind games and be a good mix-up. They won't know if you're throwing it uncharged or charged. So definitely be willing to implement that into your game. All right, for this next part, I apologize. I know this is not a tourney legal stage, and this is probably a bad example of what I'm about to say, but using up air as a kill option for Drifter at higher percents. Now, you want to use this in conjunction with platforms usually, or stages that allow it like this one, but landing up air off of opponents that are not coming down safely is going to be one of the main kill tools that Drifter has. And you'll see me have a lot of setups that go into this. Okay, so this next tool is going to be using side B to kill confirm or approach. Now you'll notice that it has multiple hits that do a ton of knockback, especially at high percent. And it's one of the main edge guarding tools, and I think one of the strongest edge guarding tools in the game, but it is going to require a decent amount of setup because of how many frames it starts. You do not start moving with Drifter using side B until frame 14, so you definitely want to make sure you have this spacing down correctly, or you will get punished for trying to do it too many times, and it also takes a big toll on your meter. So be mindful of that, but it is one of the strongest kill options in the game. Something else that I'm not too certain I covered in the first video, so I'm just going to cover it here, is other ways to edge guard other than just going out there and throwing out side B, because tracking off stage can be hard with Drifter. I would say if you're not comfortable going off stage, short hop and down air is a bread and butter, because the sword reaches over ledge and has a really strong downward hitbox. So don't be afraid to throw out short hop down air at ledge. And other edge guarding tools I like to do is grab ledge. If you have your wave dashing as comfortable as you can be, then throw your wave dash onto ledge, grab ledge, short hop back air off, or just fall off and back air. Um, but fair and back air, really strong tools to use against opponents off stage. And then we'll talk more about an advanced like down air kind of edge guard in the last part of the tutorial or guide. So yeah, do not be afraid to throw out that down air at all at ledge. And even if you are off stage a bit, you will still most likely snap to ledge even after you hit the opponent, depending on how close you are to ledge. So just experiment with that until you get comfortable with the timing. Alright, so I know this next part of the video is going to be a little cringy for some viewers, but I have to include it because of how powerful lasers are, and I will try to make this a little bit more advanced because you cannot just shoot laser and win your matches. So they are going to require a bit of game sense and awareness to let you know when and where you can throw lasers. They're going to push opponents back or keep them from coming in on you. So you're going to need to use this tool to capitalize upon your opponents as much as possible, because if you're not shooting laser, you are not creating any space for yourself, and it's going to be very important for you as a drifter main to try to create space to set up your dash attack or side B. So shooting lasers is going to be the key to success there. I just want to take an extra second to really emphasize you can't just spam laser considering the fact that it does use meter, and you have to be a good distance away in order to set them up. So tools to get lasers to land more consistently is this game has auto canceling, and they're really useful for specials, if not mandatory for specials. So what you want to do, as you notice that I land the triple laser in the fire temple clip, it's because I'm coming down and I'm pretty much just trying to time two lasers before I even land. And then that third one comes in shortly after. So that's going to be a big way to stop momentum. If you get two lasers on somebody, that's great. If they don't get close enough for you to throw out that third one, the third one is definitely not a bad thing to throw out as well. But landing with lasers are going to be one way to do it. Jumping with lasers is another way to catch aerial opponents. So you definitely want to try to use that on your opponents as much as possible and try to dictate where they go or where they cannot go, because lasers are going to set up for everything, like dash attacking, sometimes smashes if you are trying to space out a down smash or you're trying to charge up your forward smash. They even lead into tilts depending on an opponent trying to come in with a little bit of momentum. That quick laser can really put them where you want them in order to combo them. So definitely take time to practice your lasers. Okay, so this next part I want to do a quick disclaimer because it is one of the main tools I've been doing a lot lately that has been really effective on some of the opponents I've had, but it is a very risky thing to do, and this is why I classified it as an intermediate skill slash tool to use. But that is coming down with down air and trying to punish dash attack more specifically with a down air versus using like nair or a tilt. And the reason I do down air is because it pretty much sets me up to get an up tilt for free or an F tilt for free to try to punish my opponent for misspacing their dash attack. Now, this kind of goes hand in hand with using laser and frustrating your opponent enough to where they start whiffing at their dash attacks or throwing out moves that they should not be doing. And that leads to tech chase scenarios or just edge guards in general because of them losing that patience and you forcing them to come in with laser. So this is one move that I would say be very careful with throwing, but it is one of the more effective tools to set up a guaranteed up tilt versus trying to time that nair. So the downsides are going to be that it has a lot of end lag on it, but the plus is pretty much a guaranteed up tilt or a force of burst, which is going to be a big topic in the next video. So in combination with the stuff from the first video and this video, we've pretty much covered everything for Drifter, especially using his kit. The only thing I don't think I've touched on is Shine, and honestly, Shine will be something that I emphasize heavily in the third part of the video. If you want more of my opinion on the Shine, you can definitely check out me reviewing somebody else's Drifter gameplay, just because it's an exciting creative tool that is going to be used later on in your gameplay once you feel comfortable enough to master the character. I'm not necessarily done with the video yet. I want to try to show a little sneak peek of some of the things that I want to touch on in the next video because I know I took a decent amount of time in between videos. So as I did in the last video, if you get comfortable with all of the things I've touched on in this video and you're having an easy time, you know, getting these things off in matches, especially the down air. I think the down air is something that if you can get consistently and time well, but not throw out all the time and get punished for it, I think you can start transitioning into the things I'm about to get into. This other combo that I'm about to show off really quick is going to be the segue into what I mean by being creative with like Shine or just being creative with the character in general, because Drifter is honestly one of the most fun characters I've ever played in any platform fighter. It doesn't say much because I don't play too much Smash anymore, but I feel one with the character, and I hope that these videos help you become one with the character in a way as well. Um, so that's one thing I definitely wanted to emphasize really quick is that the character is very fun. He has tools to do a lot of things. I currently think he's at the bottom of high tier if you were looking at a tier list, but I think he has potential to be one of the best characters in the game. It's just a matter of, bouncing ideas off with other drifter mains and hopefully me being consistent. And I promise up till this point, and the reason why it took me so long to get this video done is because I've been trying to, get my competitive level of drifter at its highest level. So hopefully you guys get to see that in these little clips. And I'm about to go into the more exciting part of the video, which is going to segue us into the part 3. So stay tuned for that. I know I am really late on this part too. Hopefully people weren't just tired of practicing movement in the training mode before this video came out. But here we are. We're here with another part. So you guys have new stuff to practice. But with that being said, let me show you guys what I expect to do or master before I even get part 3 out. And hopefully you guys can enjoy the character as much as I do. Okay, so just to segue into the part three for next time we get a video out, this is just a short string that I think I tried to emphasize or show in the first video, but wasn't able to consistently get it. That's just landing with forward air. It sets up for a quick string that you see on screen here, and you can see how fast the forward air lands into the F tilt. So you want to try to be as active as possible with the character and maximize everything in his kit because landing with fair is just such a good tool to get you space and land consistent damage on your opponent. This next part, I wouldn't really call it an advanced edge guard, but using a laser to stop people from coming in or catching jumps is also a little tool I try to use as often as possible because it disrupts their trajectory when they're trying to recover and grab a ledge, which can just get you a free kill like we see on screen. And just to get more into the advanced part, just using laser isn't usually enough. Knowing when to use laser is what's going to make laser super powerful. So we see I whiff an F tilt and an F smash. I immediately recognize the danger after I whiff that last F tilt, so I wave dash to ledge and throw two lasers out. And I unfortunately make the mistake of wave dashing in after the third one and getting punished for it. So a lot of this is just going to come back to you being aware of when you can use your lasers. Alright, so to close this out, these are just a couple of clips that are going to be discussing what I'm going to focus on in the next video, so I'm not going to go too in depth. But the first part is wave dashing after tilts. It's really important to get follow-ups, so just try to practice your wave dashing after tilts. And then here is just punishing dash attacks. And I really want to emphasize that because if you notice your opponent's bad habits of coming in or panicking, you really want to punish that dash attack and force a burst. Forcing burst is super important as we see there. I'm able to force burst and able to catch the dash attack again. Fortunately, not able to get anything off of it, but just letting them know that you have that timing down, make them do something else and try to punish them for it. And then the next part we have is going to be have fun and be creative. These are some of my favorite clips, and I'm going to try to break them down. These are just from this week. So I down air through the platform, wave dash, and back air them and I just get so aggressive and I wave dash across, try to touch them with the laser. I think I miss, and I go off for this forward air and trade with the up air. And there's absolutely no reason to go out there and take that trade, but just have fun and try to do things like that. This next one, I'm able to freaking cancel my back air into an F tilt just to rack up some extra damage. I'm coming in back air right there, and then I go into an F tilt immediately because of auto cancel, and it just sets me up for more damage. So just be willing to try things. Obviously, the back air would have put him in an edge guard position, but I wanted to try to rack up as much damage as possible there. So that set me up to get even more damage with this down air into an up smash, which is also not really conventional, into an up air, which is a lot of damage. Unfortunately, not high enough to kill, but just be creative and have fun with the character. This last part, oh no, it was this cool thing. I canceled my side special with Shine, and I was able to get some extra damage on it. And that is something I'd been practicing throughout the week, but wasn't sure if I'd be able to get it off in match. So definitely be willing to practice with the character and just have fun with him. Don't be afraid to try things during the match and just, really just explore as much of his kit as possible because there's still so much that is not known about the character.